Watch KSTV weeknights at 7:30 and 11 Eastern, and anytime with Insight on Demand on Channel 103.
Now, football season is underway, but basketball recruiting, of course, is still in full swing. And to help us look at who is on UK's radar, we now welcome in Evan Daniels from Fox Sports. Evan, thanks for joining us. Good talk with you again.
Anytime, TJ. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. I know you're probably enjoying a little downtime from traveling along the road, but you have been a little busy, put out some new rankings this week. Take us through the 2014 class, your new rankings, and maybe some of the names UK fans should be familiar with.
Yeah, we dropped our 2014 top 75 on Tuesday, and just as it has been the past couple years, Kentucky is listed on all the top guys. Andrew Wiggins is the #1 player in the 2014 class, and in my opinion, he's the best player in the country, regardless of class. And I think that's a two-horse race between Kentucky and Florida State. Not a lot new there. Still a possibility of him reclassifying to 2013. But Kentucky heavily involved with him, heavily involved with our #2 and #3 players, Tyus Jones and Emmanuel Mudiay, both point guards, and obviously John Calipari and Kentucky have had tremendous point guards as of late. But you could go down all the way down the list. Jaleel Okafor, Noah Vonleh, Cliff Alexander. Kentucky's involved with all these guys.
Tyus Jones, you mentioned #2 overall player. Having not seen him played myself, just seeing videos online, he doesn't look like an explosive type of point guard in the videos I've seen, like a John Wall type, but more maybe a crafty point guard, a very fundamentally sound player. What's his game like?
Yeah, he's not going to wow you with his athleticism, but he will with his speed and his decision-making and his IQ. And, he went to the Peach Jam, and there's maybe one other Division I player on his team. He got them to the playoffs, averaged nearly 26 points and just over 6 assists a game. This is a tremendous talent. He's playing as well as anyone in the country. And, obviously with him being #2, if Andrew Wiggins does go to 2013, he's a good shot. He's going to be the #1 player in the country. And this is a guy that, some have even kind of compared to Chris Paul, and just a great decision maker, a great pace, really changes his speeds well. And I think he's a difference maker. He'll be a difference maker in college, and I think he's got an NBA future ahead of him.
You mentioned Andrew Wiggins maybe reclassifying. The word was it was going to happen by the time school started, and school started last week for him. Is there any update on where he's looking to go? Is he going to stay 2014, maybe go 2013?
Not anything new at this point, TJ. I think we may have to see a decision here in the next month or so. But I think there's kind of some going back and forth basically with Andrew, and I don't think a decision has been finalized. I do think that there's a good shot that he ends up in the 2013 class, but a final decision hasn't been made, and they haven't really set a timetable on it. I would expect that it'll be before the high school season starts, though.
In that 2014 class, there are two guys that we've talked about before have Kentucky ties. D'Angelo Russell played basketball here in Louisville. Dakari Johnson played middle school basketball in Lexington for a year. Where do they stand in their recruitment? What type of players are they? And how is there a chance both guys could end up at UK?
Well, there's certainly that chance. D'Angelo Russell is a kid from Louisville, is being recruited by Kentucky, is being recruited by Indiana, Ohio State, Louisville, Cincinnati, Xavier, a couple other schools. I think he's a kid that will want to come back close to home for college. Most of those schools have offered him. Kentucky has been dabbling with him, had him on campus in June. I know he really enjoyed that trip. He's certainly a guy that I could see Kentucky turning it up with. At 6'4", he can play both guard positions, both the point and the 2 guard. On his AAU team, he plays more off the ball because Quentin Snyder is so good on. But a tremendous talent and a guy that I think you could probably see Kentucky offering down the road. And then his high school teammate, Dakari Johnson, as you mentioned, he has Lexington ties, went to middle school here, played here, lived here for quite a few years. And, he's a tremendous talent, a top 10 player. Kentucky is definitely involved with him. And remember, he played his freshman year with Michael Gilchrist too. So there's another connection, and same high school coach that Michael had, just a different school. So Kentucky is definitely going to be involved with both of those guys.
Now, Trey Lyles, of course, has been in the news lately, decommitted from Indiana. Tom Crean sent out some tweets about schools recruiting players that are already committed. There are mixed reports kind of on Trey Lyles. Some say UK is involved with him, had been while he was committed. Some people say now they're involved, now they're not. Is he a legitimate option for UK, and is there mutual interest there?
I think there probably will be. I don't know if Kentucky's contacted him yet. They got all kinds of phone calls this week. I talked to his high school coach. He's been getting blown up, which is no surprise. We're talking about a top 10 recruit. We're talking about a guy at 6'8", 6'9", is extremely skilled and can really score not only with his back to the basket but also facing it. From a talent perspective, and is he good enough? Certainly, he is definitely good enough to play at Kentucky. So he's not too far away, and this is the same AAU program that Marcus Teague came from. So I think Kentucky will probably get involved in this one.
Now, in 2013, James Young, I think last time we talked, said he was getting close to maybe committing in August. A lot of people said that, or believed that he was going to be the first guy to join Derek Willis in UK's 2013 class. What's the latest with James Young? Has anything changed with him?
Not a lot new. I think he's working on setting up some college visits. I talked to his one of the guys involved in his process and his guardian, and he said they're working on setting up some dates. I think we'll probably see them take 3 visits before school starts, and I would be shocked if Kentucky wasn't one of them. In my opinion, Kentucky's the clear leader in this recruitment. This is a terrific athlete, a guy ranked number 8 in the country, and a very good scorer. Certainly would be a big pickup for Kentucky, and like I said, I think they're the leader, and I think they're the team to beat.
All right, Evan Daniels, thank you very much. Always a pleasure having you on the show, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Anytime, TJ. See you, buddy.
See you, man.